My cancer journey started at the end of May of 2022. I had some pain in my upper breast, and I thought that's a weird place to have a pain. And then a couple days later, I felt a little lump. So I went to the gynecologist, and she said, you have to go get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So that was scheduled for June 30th, and I went, and the radiologist came out, and she said, I think this is positive. And she said, you don't only have one, you have more. So that was a shock. And anyway, I went home and I told my husband, and I said, well, let's not say anything to anyone because we're not sure, So that was hard for him not to say anything. So we were both pretty worried, and we prayed. I had a biopsy on July 18th, and then on July 22nd, they confirmed that it was definitely positive and that I had one tumor in my left breast, 3 in my right breast, and 1 in my right lymph node. My name's Sue. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm here at Hope4Cancer for my follow-up visit. I knew right away that I didn't want to do chemo or radiation or have a mastectomy or anything. And I've been pretty holistic for a few years. I've been taking vitamins and exercising and reading a lot about holistic medicine, And so anyway, I looked online and I found Hope4Cancer, and I called, and Jennifer was my counselor that talked to me, and she was so nice and explained everything, and she said, you can come right away, which I thought, wow, this is great, because I wanted to take care of it as soon as possible. We made arrangements, and we came down August 28th. Everything worked out for us to come. It just seemed like, and when we got here, other people said the same thing. Like the whole week before, everything fell into place. I didn't have a passport, so I had to get an expedited passport, and I got the MRI the week before and different things, and it all worked out. And then Sunday morning, August 28th, we left to come down. And I didn't know what to expect. So we got here, and everyone at Live Aqua, the hotel we're staying in, were so nice and accommodating. And then when I came to Hope4Cancer, the welcome I got, as soon as you walk in the door, you get a big hug every day. And, just that alone made me think, this is the right place to be, And so everyone was very welcoming, and I started treatment, and it was just amazing how good I felt. And I met Dr. Allen and Dr. Candelaria and Dr. Leslie, and they all set out a plan for me with my diet and everything, and what medications would be helpful. And Dr. Allen looked at the results of the ultrasound and explained the blood work in the ultrasound at first. And he said, well, let's go with the 3 weeks and see what happens. And so anyway, at the end of 3 weeks, they did another ultrasound and more blood work, and already the tumor in my lymph node was completely gone in 3 weeks, which was amazing. And one of the tumors shrunk, and there was no blood supply going to it. So my husband and I were amazed and so happy. So we called people at home right away to say, hey, this is working, So anyway, then we left and we got home, and it was very overwhelming. They sent the ultrasound machine and all these boxes with everything we needed. And I looked at my dining room table and I felt so overwhelmed. I said, wow, what am I going to do with all this stuff? So we made a spreadsheet, and every day, I started to do everything and check everything off. And I got myself a Vibe machine that I stood on, and they suggested the LED pad, and I had the ultrasound machine. We just started every day doing all the protocol, and we didn't know what to expect, and it was not easy, especially the diet. It's very limited, and even though I was doing a similar diet before, this was much more limited. So that I think was the biggest challenge, just trying to find recipes with, you know, the things I had to eat. Last Friday was my first day back, and they did the ultrasound and the blood work and everything. And then I met with Dr. Allen and Dr. Tony a few days ago, and better results again. The one mass that was sorted together, or two now, and they're smaller, and everything is going in the right direction again, so more good news. So we're just ecstatic. I know that God is healing me, and you know, and I was never afraid, and I've always been positive. I keep telling my husband, be positive, because I need you to be positive. And even my friends and family, stay positive. That's the best thing to do, you know. So I am definitely confident that I'm going to be healed. I'm going to be completely back to health, and God's going to, you know, recreate my body to be in great health again. So,
Amen.
yeah.